Hey guys, it's JH, welcome to Practice Tea. Okay, we're going to continue on with our non-negotiables, our pressure point non-negotiables. And guys, none of this is original JH. This has been around since time immemorial. I mean, Hogan, Nelson, Middlecoff, Demerit, all those guys. Probably Harry Varden. They did it, but they didn't extol it so much. Hogan did, absolutely. But there are a couple of points about the pressure points that I think are important that haven't been touched upon to any great degree. And that's what I want to do now that we've established what the non-negotiables are. We have to be able to apply them. And there is a correct way of applying them. Okay, now when we talk about pressure points, we're talking about applying compression to the pressure point. And what's the easiest way to do that? Well, the hardest way to do it is when you do something actively and deliberately. When you're trying to apply a pressure point, which is that index finger pressure point there to the side of the shaft, very hard to do it deliberately like that. Very hard to do it like that. Because you won't apply the same process of application of the pressure point. The ratio is always going to change depending on the speed of the golf swing. But I find that if you can get this pressure point here, even though it is an absolute pressure point, if we can get the application of that pressure to be automatic and come from basically a passive loading, if that makes any type of real sense. It's sort of a passive loading in this area here, in this region here. This is passive, but what actually gets the pressure point applying itself is the application of another region, and that other region is this right side here, particularly this right shoulder quadrant here. And the application of that right shoulder quadrant here on this plane here. Not on that plane there. And we don't want the arms doing that. We want the arms and the hands passive, and the right shoulder basically driving down into this region here. Try and get if you think that the hands would basically stay there and you're going to drive your right shoulder down into your hands there, what would happen? We'd look something like this. Here, passive hands drive the shoulder. Passive hands drive the shoulder. Now the good thing about driving that shoulder, and you've got to be careful that when you drive it, you don't just drive it down there. It's got to be driven there, but clearly with an in-to-out bias, and this has got to be rotating away at the same time. We just don't want to drive the right shoulder down like that, because this is still here. We'll drive that down here and we'll drive ourselves backwards. So we want to drive that right side quadrant down against the passive hands. Here, that pressure point here. But this is getting out of the way. See that, guys? Here. You've got to have what we call the pelvic compression here, in conjunction with this, with the right shoulder quadrant down there against the passive hands. To get the feeling of it, just get a wedge or an iron-on or something, grip it down a little bit, just take the club up, very much with passive hands. And that's amazing how far that goes off that little swing. And just, the hands are almost like we've got the pressure point in there, but after we've established the pressure point, the hands are not doing anything. They're doing nothing. Here, we're just going to drive down. Look, it's a lot of golf machine, guys. The Lynn Blake. Homer Kelly, Tom Tomasello. It's not JH. But what I think is a lot of those, all those guys have said, yeah, these are the pressure points. They really haven't told you how to apply those pressure points. They never told me, and I went through the golfing machine thing when it came out. I was going to teach it for a while. There was something missing. And I found it was very hard, because if you get people to just apply the pressure points, they end up looking like this. And even Lynn Blake on occasions, and even Ben Doyle, ended up looking like this. Well, no one plays golf like that. Now, I don't want to train an action that I'm not going to use in a golf swing. Why would I do that? And that's why I never like doing things that you're not actually going to do in your golf swing. That's just part of JH's mantra. You know, don't do anything you're not going to do in your golf swing. Not even as a drill. I mean, I never go there. I mean, you don't want to do this. Look at this. Who does that? Who plays golf like that? And yet we saw Ben, and we never saw Homer Kelly hit the ball, but Lynn Blake and Tom Tomasello, I mean, they all do that. And buddies of mine in the early days that were certified instructors all tried to get me to do this. I said, guys, why would I want to put that into my golf swing? So we don't want to do that. But we do want to have that feeling, but we don't want to have that look. We want to have that feeling, but with basically that look. And as I say, just get a wedge or a 9 on or whatever. See, that's a little half, 3/4 golf swing. That's gone, that's crazy. That's almost gone normal wedge distance. Okay guys, for the guys that don't know, my new range here, it's downhill as well. And you probably saw that with some of the down the line shots. So my flag's down there when I laser them. And when I talk about distances, I mean, the other day there was a flag down there. There's one down there at 170, and I was saying to a buddy of mine in the tape that I was hitting it down there at 165, 170 with a 6-iron. Well, I mean, I don't do that on the golf course, but I can fly it down there because it is downhill a little bit, and I can fly it down there. So don't read too much into some of the distances that I talk about. It's just that those flags are there, and when I teach guys here, they want to know how far the flags are, irrespective of the topography. Because I don't hit the ball very far, guys, and I don't try to. I mean, I hit it adequate length. I mean, I can play with it. Okay, so here we are. We're going to just have these passive hands. It's like they're there, guys. They're just sitting there, and we're getting here, and we're just going to push this right shoulder into it. Look at that. We're here. The hands are packed. Push the right shoulder into it. There's a lot of clamp on that. A lot of clamp. It's very hard for people that have never had passive hands in the golf swing. Very hard. So we're going to just take it up here, and we're just going to push that. It's going to feel like this, with the pelvis turning out of the way, and we're getting that what I call just vertical drive loading. It's vertical in feel, but it's tangential in application, in that it's coming, you know, in that slight tangential approach to the golf ball. Just grip it down a little bit, push it up. I mean, it's so economical, guys. So economical. So this is a part of it. And side on, when I get the hands here and I push down, I want to feel the shoulders going there, but also there, that way. Not sort of straight in here, because that'll get you doing this. If it goes there, if you have this tangential, angular arcing type approach, which is circular, we're on the circle, we're on the inclined circle, the hips will operate by themselves. They will get out of the way as a balancing mechanism and as a speed producer. You watch my hips here. The more I push down here, the faster the hips will go. Just get it up here. Now they're pretty quick hips for an old guy. See how quick they get out of the way? Passive hands. Longer club, 6 iron. Same thing, guys, just grip it down a little bit. Don't try and knock the skin off the ball. Just set it up, get your pressure point, passive hands, I'm going to drive into it. Wow. See, that's normal distance. Okay, I don't swing it back very far. But what I do is because even though my swing is short, I can still get a lot of leverage down onto the ball, a lot of compression, a lot of power going that way. Whereas if I take it back, I can swing it back normal distance like this. Huh? But I feel out of control. So that's gone normal 6 iron distance. Probably a little bit further. Club's only going to here. Who says you've got to take it to there? If you want to hit it as far as Barbara or Jamie Sadlowski, yeah, take it there. If you want to hit it a distance where you can go and find it and you can score with it, that's what it's about. So just passive hands. And look at this, guys, look. That ball's still in the air, still in the air, still in the air, still in the air. Just came down. So the message is, for today, have the passive hands, try and drive the right shoulder down into this region here. If you could get your shoulder down in there. And I've got a lot of connection here, as you can see. I've got lots of pressure here. Lots of armpit. If I had an orange under each armpit, I could squash them. Because guys, you don't want to have this type of process where you take it up here and everything's disconnected, then you're trying to drive your shoulder down. You can't do that. Everything has to be connected. Here, take it up, here, and then drive it down. That's how you pressure. And the elbow pressures, the underneath of the forearm pressures, the tricep pressures, it all pressures this way. But you can't, you see guys like this, and you'll get people that will want to instruct you to do that. You can't do that. That is a resultant of that and that. That happens as a result of that and this. You can't just say I'm going to drive my elbow past my hip. Look at this. Look at I want to hit it straight right. While I'm talking about the pressure point grip, guys, someone asked me only yesterday, because I'm saying apply this to everything. And guys, I mean apply it to everything, like putting. Most of the club players are very, very inconsistent with their putting. Why? Because their grip's terrible. Their pressure application's terrible. There's no methodology. They're not methodising the putting stroke at all. So what I'm saying is, guys, try exactly the same process. Left hand, put the thumb over here. Put it behind the shaft. What happens straight away there? That's pushing. Pushing. Imagine having a pushing action with a putting. It's pushing. It's pushing. It's not pulling. Because invariably when you pull, there's a chance you can roll. But if you push from behind, you're going to push the blade straight. Now get your left hand in that position there. And guys, I advocate the normal grip. You don't have to have a reverse overlap. I mean, I've never understood the reverse overlap. Okay, it gets the right hand a little bit up, but I just don't understand. I think it's just tradition. There's no need to have a reverse overlap in a putting grip. So just have that pressure point there. Bring that right pressure point in there. Pressure on that thumb. Guys, I promise you, here, and look at this right wrist angle, look. The right wrist angle. Look at this down the line. Look at that blade. Look at that. I'm pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. You can't roll it. You push it, you can't roll it. And think of the confidence that you'll derive from coming from a normal grip. You might have just chipped onto the green with your normal grip. And if you wear a glove, I mean I don't, but if you wear a glove, I don't now anyway, but if you pull your glove off and then you have a different grip, you know, but even if you pulled your glove off but you had the same grip as you had when you played your little pitch shot, I promise you guys, that is amazing. I could putt one-handed. And I could putt very, very solidly with that process. Okay, the club's coming up a little bit because the left arm is coming up. But if you've got your right hand on it and you're going to pressure it like that, here, the right hand keeps the right wrist angle, which keeps the club pressuring the golf ball. See how square the blade stays, guys? See how square the blade stays. Here, pressure point. Look at the blade. And that really does lock out that left wrist. Left wrist does not want to buckle. Here we're just going to push the pressure points. There it is, guys. Alright, now the other thing that's important is you've got to really, I have to anyway, once you're firing down with that right shoulder, before you fire down with that right shoulder, this should be going. The pelvis should be turning, we should be getting that compression in the pivot, the pelvic pivot compression. We really need to get that pivot out of the way. Now I'll really show you how much speed you can get with the pushing down of the right side and getting that left hip out of the way. So that's a fair bit of speed for old JH. The ball doesn't move, that's the thing I like. It just doesn't move. Not at all. Well, we'll try and overdo it. I might miss-hit this, but I'll really try and compress down hard and really get that left and get a lot of connection with those arms on the torso. They're just straight over the flag. Not a breath of wind here today, so it's good. Very humid. Well, we'll do it a bit slow and we'll get more compression. So those 3 or 4 good balls, guys, same area as this mat, no difference. So the hips out of the way, look. Yeah. Anytime you can get this look, you know that hip's gone that way. So the hip's gone that way. Just a longer club so you can have a look. You know, people might think that it's hard to have passive hands with a driver. It's not. It's easier because the club's longer. Wow. It's a brand new ball in the river. I don't mind it when I hit it that good. I'll have to park some wildlife up here. So I'll be killing the pelicans down there in the water. A lot of compression for drivers here. A lot of compression. Very passive hands. Good driver, those new Big Berthas. Very passive hands and a lot of right shoulder compression. That's just a standard stiff shaft, but when you really do pressure down with that right side, that gets very soft. That's amazing how much that, even off that little swing of mine, I can feel that really, and that kicked in. It just, the shaft is a bit too soft. That just had a really hard power draw, which I don't like. Okay, very passive hands. Grip the driver down a little bit, guys, if you want. With the exception of that one that had about the 5 or 8 yard draw on it, the other shots are just all here. So there it is, guys. If you want to practice it, it's easy to do it with a sand iron or a wedge or something. Good shot, and you want to hit it about 50, 60 yards. Get here, here, soft hands, drive that right shoulder into it. See, that's landing right. That's landing right within a foot of the other golf ball. Exactly the same distance. Okay, have more passive hands. Try and do it a bit slower. See, that's crazy. That's gone about another 15 yards. And that's more passive hands. The more passive the hands are, with the right shoulder driving down, feels like this, guys. Like I'm trying to get my right shoulder onto that region there. Just little ones. Grip it right down. This is how you learn it. I should have said this earlier. See how much hip action and right leg drive and right side drive, even on a little shot like that, it's about 40, 48 to that little flag down there, so just a lot of guys that hit the short shots, they're too army. It's got to be everything, all the body can't just hit a little shot like that. That's why there's no release on a lot of the shots. I release on this as much as I basically release on a driver, and it's only a little shot. See the full release here, look. That's gone exactly 53 metres. Exactly. Still as much release on it. Yeah. And that just gives you that feeling, guys. This is now accommodating. That's getting out of the way to accommodate that compression. There. Okay, guys, that's just, we'll do some more, but we'll just do bits as we go along, so you're getting familiar with a couple of little drills and some appreciations of the compression factors. Okay, we'll do some more in the coming days.